welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Shan. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. There are loads of helpful videos on this channel and I'm sure you'll find something that you like. I wanted to say a huge thank you if you came over from Cheryl's channel after our collaboration on stepping out of your comfort zone. There are quite a few of you who came over after that and I'm so grateful. It made me so happy to see you coming over and to see your comments on the video that was on my channel as well. So thank you very much, and I'm sorry if the content since then hasn't been quite what you were expecting. It's just that it was Easter holidays, I had the children at home and running the B&B, and I just didn't have time to do a sit-down video, which is kind of what I wanted to do straight after, to say thank you basically, because you know, you subscribing makes me incredibly happy and you watching makes me incredibly happy, and we all want to be happy, don't we? Today I wanted to talk to you about minimalism, which is seemingly still quite a buzz topic, and kind of my version of minimalism, if that makes sense. It's also quite hard to say, so I'll see how many times I can say it correctly in this video. So for those of you who do follow Cheryl over at Nonstop Paris, you will know that she has kind of embraced minimalism, and I really respect that. I think as a parent it is slightly harder to be minimalist, although there are so many parent vloggers and bloggers out there who manage it, so maybe it's just me. But I wanted to talk to you about kind of my take on minimalism, and I guess compare and contrast it with others, and just to say how it doesn't have to be like full-on minimalism. You can make some really small changes in your lifestyle which will have a big impact, but you don't have to get rid of everything. I had a little Google to see what is minimalism, and the first page I went to said you had to have under 100 things, and I think that was a joke, but I just thought, I guess that kind of sums it up, isn't it? It's the idea of getting rid of stuff you've accumulated that you don't need, that is just taking over your life, and I really think that is something I can embrace. But I feel like it doesn't matter how much stuff I get rid of, there's still stuff there. Ultimately, there's nothing wrong with material possessions, and if you are the kind of person who gets happiness from material possessions, then I'm not going to say stop buying those material possessions, because that's going to make you unhappy, isn't it? For me, I don't get happiness from buying clothes or like a new sofa every now and again. I don't find my happiness there in many cases, and I know it's the same in my case. The stuff we have has a meaning to it, so it's something that reminds you of a time that you spent together with someone, and that's quite a deep thing. But maybe stuff doesn't need to have a meaning, and it's kind of, maybe we're giving stuff a meaning just so we keep the stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I know I'm guilty of this. I have boxes and boxes in the attic of old ticket stubs, of airline tickets, of my old diaries from when I was a child, all kinds of things that I don't actually need. But I do get a lot of pleasure when I open up that box, probably like once every 2 years, and go through it, and just the memories that flood back with that stuff I like, so I'm not going to get rid of that stuff. I think the fact that we give our stuff meaning means that sometimes we forget what actually really matters to us, like your family or your relationship or your job. Things that actually do mean something to you kind of get lost in the stuff. And I think that's not healthy, and I think that's something that a lot of people want to change but don't quite know how to change, I guess. So what I do, and it's not necessarily minimalism, it might be more like sustainable living, I guess. The first question I ask myself when I buy something is, do I actually need this? And this is what my grandma taught me: if you don't need it, you don't buy it, simple as. And I mean, that's a great thing to live by. Do I need a new sofa? No, I don't. Does it matter that there's a sale on, and there has been for like the last 3 months, and I could get it £100 cheaper than it was 2 weeks ago? No, it doesn't, because I would still be spending money that I might not necessarily need to spend, because I've got a perfectly good sofa in the other room. I like things to look good, but I don't care about having the newest thing or the best thing. I think we live in such a culture of consumerism and capitalism, and we want stuff all the time, and stuff is on the TV saying, buy me, it's cheaper than it was a week ago, come on, you want to buy this, you need this in your life. And the majority of the time, you do not need that in your life. You would like it, but you don't need it. And this is a kind of lesson I'm trying to teach my children, is do you actually need it? And when they both say to me, but I need it, I'm that really annoying mum who's like, do you really need it or do you just want it? Because there's a difference. And obviously, like, the idea of minimalism to children is just nonsense. It doesn't exist. But my son doesn't like stuff. He likes his room to be clear, but he collects football cards, football stickers. He has loads of stuff, but it's all in a tiny book, which is great. Whereas my daughter has tons of toys, but she plays with almost every single one of them, and they all have a place. So I kind of don't mind that she has lots of stuff. I think the idea of kind of sustainable living for me is where I want to be heading. Can you grow it, make it, reuse it, recycle it? What can you do with what you have around you? And we, as most of you know, if you don't know, have a huge kitchen garden here, which is quite hard and difficult to maintain, but it means we grow all of our fruit and vegetables throughout the summer. We make our own jams, preserves, we make some kind of alcohol, rhubarb gin. We reuse, we freeze, we save, we use it for summer. We try our hardest that throughout those summer months we don't have to buy vegetables. And I know that we're incredibly lucky to have this kind of space. You know, we couldn't afford this kind of space. We live here because I manage the B&B. And that is one of the perks of getting to live here. We are incredibly lucky in that respect that we can grow our own things. But I would also always try and fix something before throwing away or anything like that, because that's my mentality. So my camera screen broke, and instead of getting a new camera, I bought a screen off eBay and I watched a YouTube video and I fixed the screen. And to me, that's like what you would do, because I guess I'm quite used to not having a lot of money, so I make my money work for me, if that makes sense at all. Sustainable living and my kind of idea of minimalism is more about thinking about the impact that your actions have on the planet. So the amount of plastic you're using, whether you're recycling your cardboard, your glass, everything like that. Whether your glass and cardboard is actually getting recycled, because an awful lot of it isn't. So the impact that you buying a bottle of water in a supermarket because you're thirsty could have on the ecosystem of this planet. And I appreciate that might be a little bit far-fetched, but what we throw away is ending up in our oceans and it's damaging the planet. And I don't want to get all preachy, but for me, that's massive, and we have to make change in how we live our daily lives. So that's kind of how I like to interpret minimalism, or not necessarily interpret it, but how I live it, I guess. In terms of minimalism and how it works for me, I have one massive declutter probably every 1 to 2 months, where I take loads of clothes down to charity shops. I do also buy clothes from charity shops and make sure we don't buy too many new clothes. And I'm sure if you've looked at my channel, you will see Primark hauls, you will see IKEA hauls, you will see H&M hauls. But I probably do those shops 2 or 3 times a year. We do not buy stuff all the time. We get loads of second-hand clothes. You'll have seen my eBay hauls as well. I love shopping on eBay and charity shops. I like to make sure that we can make things last longer where we possibly can. So buying from a charity shop where someone's loved the clothes and then given them away doesn't make them any worse than something that's in, say, Primark or something like that. If you like the idea of minimalism but you don't want to get rid of your stuff, not all of your stuff, then I guess what I'm saying is that you don't have to, but the idea for me is about thinking whether you need that product or what the impact of you buying that thing will have on the planet. To be like dramatic about it, because it does have an impact, and we all have to accept that we have a responsibility to the planet we live on. Maybe not in our lifetime, but certainly in my children's lifetime, that things like climate change are going to impact on them hugely. I think I've probably talked enough, and you're probably sat there, if you're still watching of course, which if you are, hey, thank you. I'd love your comments below on what your idea of minimalism is, and how you can kind of live more sustainably, because I find that so interesting and I would really love to see other people's ideas of how it works for them. And it's also a topic that I really like to watch on YouTube. So if you want any more videos from me about this, or if you want anything more about sustainable living, any tips for making your own cleaning products, all that kind of stuff, then let me know, because I'm quite passionate about it and I'm aware it's something I've never really spoken about on YouTube before. So it could be a new little place to head down on this channel. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to, then please subscribe, and I'd love it if you do. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. There's going to be one helpful video a week from now on. That's my plan for the rest of this year and hopefully moving forward. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.